Aloha and mabuhay. My name is Emmie Ortega-Anderson, your host for Pinoy Power Hawaii. We want to welcome you to another great, empowering episode here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Today, in line with our mission to enrich, to enlighten, to educate, to entertain, and we hope to empower, we have with us one of the highest ranking of Filipino ancestry in the Army. And he had just been given a new position. Let's welcome our powerful, influential guest for today, Brigadier General Roy Macaraeg. Welcome to Pinoy Power Hawaii.
Oh, thank you, Auntie Emmy.
It's so awesome to meet someone of your caliber. You know, it's not an everyday occurrence for me to meet someone that is successful and have worked your way from the bottom up. So tell us about Roy Macaraeg.
Oh, geez, where do I begin?
We start from the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, I was born in the Philippines.
Okay.
Came to Hawaii when I was 10 years old. Grew up in Kalihi.
Awesome.
Went to all public school. Went to Kalihikai, Kalakaua. Graduated from Farrington High School.
Governors.
Governors, yes. Yeah. 1991.
Okay.
And, it all started there in, I think in, the Philippines, and then growing up in Kalihi. And from there, I joined the Hawaii Army National Guard.
That was the stepping stone.
That was the stepping
career.
Stone, yes.
Okay. Let's backtrack just a little bit. Do you remember a little bit of your growing up in the Philippines? Because I remember a lot. Poverty and the struggles. Can you tell us just a little bit about your parents?
Sure. So my mom was actually a teacher, second grade teacher, I believe. Yeah, so she was a teacher, and it's one of those things I think I picked up, when I was young. Her being a teacher, I think, taught me how to, be somebody who's always, learning and the value of education.
Right.
So she was a teacher. My dad, growing up had, odd jobs. Yeah, and then when
to support the family.
Yes, absolutely. So we had, a total of 6 kids. I was number 5 out of 6.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, big family.
So you're one of the youngest?
One of the youngest,
okay.
Yeah. Number 5 out of 6.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Poverty is always a part of the equation in our Filipino community.
Sure.
Before we realize, we come to Hawaii or America to realize the American dream.
Right.
Did you have to worry about where your next meal is going to come from, especially from a family of 6?
Yeah, growing up, I saw my, parents, right, work hard, that work ethic, I think. My dad, when we came here, he worked for a construction company, and he was in construction. So, every day, just about every day, I see him coming home, tired, dusty, right? So it was, I think, early on in my life, I realized, it's hard, it's hard to, put it into perspective, but, looking at it and reflecting on it now, I think, I contribute a lot of my successes, in those early days, because of the struggles,
right?
Yeah, and it somehow, I think, not just me, but my siblings too.
Correct.
It really forged our character, I think, in terms of just being resilient.
Makes you stronger,
yes,
doesn't it?
Yeah, resiliency. So it built resiliency,
awesome.
and that grit, right? To just do what you need to do to get things done. Yeah.
To pull yourself out of the poverty, because you don't want to repeat that pattern.
I mean, you see that, right? So it's a combination of a lot of things. My mom just being an advocate for education, her being a teacher, that's one. Always improve yourself, right? And then my dad, just his work ethic, I think really forged, my character, which is perfectly in line with, what I had to do so that I can be successful.
What an awesome combination to have a mother who is a role model, a teacher, an educator, want to really instill values and also the foundation of a good home.
Yes.
And a father who never ceased to provide for a big family and continually serves as a great paternal figure.
I mean, you imagine, 6 kids, right? I have 1 daughter, and I still can't believe how they did it. Just providing for 6 kids.
To provide, right?
I think it's incredible.
Awesome story. I'm trying to relate to your story too, because as a young kid, I came to Hawaii when I was 9, and I went through the struggles of trying to blend in, trying to belong.
Yeah.
Were you bullied?
No, not necessarily.
Really?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, okay. Probably because you had brothers and sisters as a protector.
Yeah.
And as a younger sibling.
Yeah, I think, just growing up, I think it was easy for me to make friends. Like a lot of friends. So,
you were not intimidating.
No, I think it, I kind of look at it now as, people tell me I'm a people person. So I talk to people, I make friends really quickly. So I think I had happy memories of just growing up.
You probably get the congeniality award all the time, right?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, wow. This is so awesome to have a conversation with you, and I'm sure that your parents are very, very proud of your accomplishment and your achievements. Tell us about the other siblings. Did they follow the same, success or climbing the ladder?
So, my 2 brothers actually joined the military too.
Okay.
One in the Air Force and one in the Army. They went to active duty before, and then they actually, came back home after their first term and went back to University of Hawaii, got their education.
Oh, okay.
So one is living in Maui, one is living in Kaneohe, and I got my sisters. They're doing all well.
That is so awesome to come from a family of 6 and to see all the children doing so well. Yeah, your parents should get the Parents of the Year award.
Yeah, they're very proud. I think growing up, just growing up, in Kalihi. I look back now. There's you probably look at some of the things that you could have easily stepped on a landmine, right? Just going through. But I think the family values, the foundational values that they set forth in terms of just making the right decisions as you're growing up.
So aside from a strong parental support from both mom and dad, who was the one that is most influential that you could call out?
Oh gosh, the
great leaders.
It's I met amazing people along the way in my journey, in my career, my life, and I tell people I collect people. I collect people, good people.
Yes.
Good people, and I put this. I put them in a place I call the golden sphere. Yeah. So this golden sphere is all the people that I collect. The people that actually makes me a better person.
Yes.
Right. So along the way, you meet all kinds of people. Now it's not a circle. It's a sphere because I believe I can learn from anybody. Subordinates, peers, superiors, or anybody that you meet. Along the way. So I can't name like a single
one
person.
specific person.
Yeah, but I do. In my golden sphere, right?
Have a collection.
Yes. And I take the good. I take the good. All the good from all these people to make me a better person. So it's always,
positive.
Yeah, it's always positive. Yeah.
That is so wonderful because growing up, I also had this imaginary, I didn't call it a sphere, I call it alat. Alat. In Ilocano, alat, something that a fisherman would use to collect all his catches for the day.
Yeah.
And
is that the basket?
the basket,
Yeah,
the bamboo.
yeah.
And it has a cover.
Right.
And in the cover, there's an opening that you can put things in there,
Right. But they can come out, right?
escape.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen those. Yeah, yeah.
So you can relate to that.
Yes.
And that's the way I've kind of treasured people that are influential in my life, positive ones.
Yes, positive ones.
So
yeah.
I can relate to your story, except yours is a little bit more classy.
Yeah.
It's golden sphere.
The golden sphere. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And I really salute people like you on a pedestal because you could have gone astray and chosen other path, but in your case, you managed to choose the straight and narrow path, which brought you to this very successful career. And we want to elaborate more about that on the second half of our show. But for now, let's focus on the training, education, and things along the way that you focus on that help you get to where you are today, like involvement or organizations or clubs. Tell us a little bit more about those.
Okay, one of the main reasons why I joined the military was because I wanted to get an education. And, number 5 out of 6 kids, I know mom and dad didn't have the money to support, right? So the military was a way for me to actually pay for college. And I'm proud to say that, starting that journey, I sit here and actually, I can tell you that I have, a associate's degree, 1 bachelor's degree, and I got 2 masters out of it. So
awesome.
It worked out for me. So I tell my niece and nephews and young people, graduating from high school, if you don't know what you're gonna do after high school, military could be a way.
That was your ticket.
Yeah, that was a ticket. I mean, if you look at it now, the benefits that the military actually provide, I mean, it's incredible. I think, you get paid. They give you uniform to wear. They give you a place to live, and they provide benefits so that you can actually get your education.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean,
the lifetime training.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of my nieces and nephews are, also joined the military. So I tell young people, if you don't know what you're gonna do, join the military. It's a way till you figure things out. Because after high school, you graduate and you go, okay, what now, right?
A lot of people just don't know
they don't
what
know.
path to follow.
But that thinking, that conversation with people or planning things out, that starts probably like 2 years out before you graduate, right?
Wow, I really couldn't stress the importance of education, but in your life, you got it.
Yeah.
You caught on. So
Yes.
the efforts, the constant reminder from your mama to tell you
Yes.
that, importante ti education, anak. Sige na, kailangan na gawin natin
Yes.
ito, parang mag-successful natin.
Yeah, every day. It's not just the degree too. It's the continual learning throughout your life, and you continue to grow. Even now, I read books. I read a lot of books, and that's one of the things that my mom, I think, gave me as a gift. Reading.
She passed that on as an educator.
I love reading. I just love reading. I read a lot of books. I read a lot of things.
Well, that gives you the edge, because when you read, it's just like going through that adventure. But you don't have to be in the actual place. But you
Yes.
can read about it and experience it.
Yeah, and it sharpens your mind, in terms of just, critical thinking, because you're reading, but, your mind is working.
Tama,
Yeah,
yes.
and additionally, you read and, you find, great words and, it just expands your vocabulary, right? So.
That is, yeah. Did you find yourself writing these words down and then often referring to it?
Yes, yeah. I got a list of words. Yeah, that's like, that's a good sounding word. I like it. Yeah.
Got to learn it more.
Yeah, I got to learn it more.
Oh, so you had the flashcards.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
There was a way that I could better sharpen my communication skills
Right.
and to really know how to communicate effectively.
Effectively,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to continue our conversation with Brigadier General Roy Macaraeg after these short messages. Thank you again for joining us here on Pinoy Power Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Jane Sawyer with the Small Business Administration and one of your hosts for Adventures in Small Business, a partnership with ThinkTech and with the Hawaii Small Business Development Center, the Mink Center for Business and Leadership, and the Veteran Business Outreach Center, all serving small businesses in Hawaii and telling you the story about their strategies, their ideas, their drive, and the way they help Hawaii succeed and be a bright light in small business. You'll find it here every Thursday at ThinkTech. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you soon.
Aloha! My name is Becky Sampson, and I'm the host of It's About Time on the ThinkTech Hawaii, a digital nonprofit organization that's raising public awareness. Join us on Wednesday at 2 p.m. where we talk about real issues. Some of the topics will include entrepreneurship, health, life skills, and growing your business. So once again, this is Becky Sampson on It's About Time on Wednesday at 2 p.m. on ThinkTech Hawaii. Mahalo.
Welcome back to Pinoy Power Hawaii. I am your host, Emmie Ortega-Anderson. And today we're having a very powerful conversation with a very influential, deserving, hardworking young leader who have just earned the new rank, Brigadier General Roy Macaraeg. Welcome back to the second portion of our show. Thank you so much for telling us about your upbringing, the important aspects in your life that groomed you to be where you are, which prepared you for this rank and this responsibility that you have as a Brigadier General. Now, when we speak of those terms, not too many people are familiar with the ranks because it's different in the Army, the Navy, and also the Air Force. Sure. Tell us just a little bit about the ranking and how you got there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, let me summarize
without bragging.
Yeah, no,
We're
without
just
bragging.
sharing.
Yeah, just sharing.
Okay.
So, actually, I joined as a private, the lowest ranking. So private E1. Worked myself out. I guess, again, the reason why I wanted to join was because of the educational benefits.
Yes.
So I joined. I was enlisted for 6 years. I actually attained the rank of sergeant, so I was a sergeant at one point too.
Oh, okay.
I went to officer candidate school to get my commission as a second lieutenant, and just worked my way through that. And my goal was, initially my goal was to be a major. I thought it was a great accomplishment if I attained major.
A major.
Yeah. So I got to a point where I got promoted. I got promoted to captain, then major.
Wow.
Yes. And
it happened fast?
It happened pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly?
Yeah. A lot of people.
Because you're only 25, right?
Yeah. 27.
Okay.
But along the way, I met all the gates at minimum time and grades. So I was very fortunate that I actually had the opportunities. Because when I was a lieutenant, I had the opportunity to actually go out to Washington, D.C. And start working with the National Guard Bureau there in a Pentagon. And so I got my start after my initial service as an enlisted and as junior officer. I got an opportunity to work in Washington, D.C. And then from there, it just,
Just open a whole avenue, a whole adventure for you?
Yeah, doors just kept opening. And, I just kept at it. But I never forgot the two things, the foundational values, again, the character, that my parents had actually instilled in me. And also, just the work ethic,
Okay, I'm going to ask you, who sustains you in the most difficult time when the parents are not around, the siblings are not around? Where do you derive that strength?
This is from my wife and my daughter.
Okay.
My wife Benny and my daughter Chloe Ann.
Yes, that's really important in a family life. But in terms of the spiritual, do you have such a thing, an ingrained belief?
Yeah, I do. So I'm a Catholic. I do, look to the Lord for guidance, and you know, I pray.
Okay.
And yeah, I always have that connection spiritually.
That's awesome that you mentioned the power of God that
Yes.
influences you. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's get back to your wife. When did the marriage come in line with your career? Because some people can't do both, you know?
Yeah.
They focus on their career, then they forget, they get lopsided and forget about their marital life.
Yeah, we got a pretty interesting story too. So my wife Benny, she's actually my high school sweetheart.
Oh.
So we've been together since high school. So you know, we graduated the same year, 1991, Farrington High School, and yeah, so we stayed together through, you know, Honolulu Community College and University of Hawaii, and yeah, we moved to Washington D.C. in 1999, and her career actually took off too.
What does Benny do?
She graduated accounting, and
So she count the numbers for you?
Yeah, she does. She's more of the numbers person.
So was she influential of you meeting the gates or those requirements for you to achieve your rank?
Yeah, I think you know, we just, you know, it's a great partnership, and it's, you know, you talk about, like, you know, finding your soulmate. Yeah,
you found it in Benny.
Well, yeah, we, you know, early on.
Oh, we
you
should
know?
write a book. Yeah.
High school.
High school
So she actually worked, you know, in Washington D.C. She worked too in the Pentagon.
Wow.
So she worked for OSD, the Office of Secretary of Defense. So she did, you know, a lot of work there in the Pentagon. She
Roy, that's really, really important that there's a saying that the family that stays together, prays together, plays together, will stay together forever.
Yes.
You believe in that concept?
I do. Yeah, I really do. Yeah.
That is so awesome that you're able to share your success in line with your wife. And you have one daughter. Coming from a family of 6, you just have one daughter?
One daughter.
Okay. When is the next one coming?
Um,
Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, bakit isa lang yung anak mo? You know, sa Filipino family, di ba? Marami.
Marami.
Oo.
No,
Yeah.
I think we're done. Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah.
You're gonna deprive your daughter from having siblings?
No,
or-
look at it the other way. You know, we're gonna give her all the love we can.
That's what I like about you. Always a positive light, you know,
Yes.
instead of seeing things, the glasses half empty. You
Yes.
present the half full idea.
Yeah,
Which is great.
You know, our daughter Chloe Ann, she's a joy. And yeah, early on we were so, you know, we were actually really focused, you know, on our careers. So, you know, we had her pretty late. So it was decision time, and you know, we're glad. You know, we're
At least
very
you're blessed with
fortunate.
one.
Yeah, we are blessed.
Wow.
Truly blessed.
Chloe, sweetie,
Yeah.
you're so lucky. Wonderful parents. Now, what's in store for you with the remaining time that we have? What is it that when they hear of Roy Macaraeg, just like Antonio Tagoba,
Yes.
when they hear of that name, he's got his legacy in line.
Yeah,
what's yours?
funny you mentioned him. So he actually sent me an email.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
I've known him because he was in DC, and you know, I ran into him a few times as a junior officer, and he congratulated me. So I truly appreciate that. You know.
So was he one of your role model as far as adding to your motivation?
I actually looked up to him. You know, he's from Lilihua. Again, he was born in the Philippines.
Yes.
Right. So
Almost
he was
the same success story.
He was an inspiration.
So, judging from the stories that I have another good friend, little brother, Edwin Parubrug.
Yes, yeah,
who's
Chief
also-
Parubrug.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so proud, man. I feel Pinoy pride all the way.
Yeah.
And I am just so proud that we have someone like you that will carry on the light and tradition of Pinoy pride. You know. So, what is it that you can share to others that are aspiring to achieve rank in the military?
Well, first, maraming salamat to everybody. You know, in the last couple weeks, you know, it's been, you know,
Overwhelming.
and adventure. Yeah. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. You know, all the support from the Phil-Am community.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people would, you know, are so proud, and you know, I go to places and, you know, places would just come up. It's like, hey, you're that you know, Filipino American general, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I just want to congratulate. I'm so proud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you know, I'm moving to, you know, the later part of my career,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to actually, you know, start, and I started doing it. You know, really trying to give back to the younger people, the next generation, and sharing, you know, some of the, you know, some of the things I learned along the way to, you know, it somehow teach them the way, you know, and mentor, you know, the next generation so they can be successful.
Right.
You know?
And I know that your forum is education.
Yes.
That's one of the key ingredients to your success.
Education is one of them, but I think you know, I actually break it down into 3 things.
Okay, tell us.
So I'll tell people, I'll tell soldiers, I'll tell, you know, young officers, you know, 3 things that you can, you know, to be successful.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. First, you just got to be, you know, a good person. I think just be a good person, you know, in everything that you do.
Yes.
You know, just be a good person. You know, go out there and, you know, make the people around you better, right? Just be a good person.
Circle of influence.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second thing is, you know, you need to make sure whatever you do in life, you know, do your best. Just do your best, whatever you do, you know. If you're not going to put your, you know, best effort, don't even do it, right? So in everything that you do your best. And then the last thing is take care of yourself. You know, you got to take care of yourself. You know, me as a leader, you know, and leaders in general, they got to take care of themselves. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you know, educationally, financially, spiritually, you know, all those things, right? How can you take care of, you know, other people? So those are the 3 things I tell people all the time.
Wow. Well, Brigadier General and soon to be General, 3-star General. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing those 3 things that could make or break you. I appreciate the time that you have provided us for us to learn, to empower others. And that is our main forum here. We call it Pinoy Pride. Not Pride Silet or Pride Bangos and all that stuff, but just being proud of who you are, doing your best, and bringing out the best in everyone. You carry them along and take them along for the ride, and not just leave them behind.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, General, for empowering us.
Yeah,
thank you for this moment.
Thank you, Ate Emmie, for having me here.
Awesome.
I truly appreciate it.
We could talk forever.
Yeah, mabuhay.
All right. Thank you so much for being with us today for another empowering show from Pinoy Power Hawaii. I am your host, Emmie Ortega-Anderson, saying mahalo, mabuhay, maraming salamat po.